Phil's going through some changes. Um, I don't know. It's just wasn't right. So we're trying some different stuff to see if we can save Phil before we put him down. So what we're doing is we're gonna switch to more of a. I don't know. You probably didn't watch the last videos, but it was basically a level based game with some obstacles and some unique things every level. But we're switching to a more of a Flappy Bird, endless repeating mechanic. It's quite drastic. It's just what we're doing. So anyway, this is kind of gonna be what is repeating over and over. I've kind of ripped apart my old level uh, kind of hierarchy, and it just kind of shoehorning this together. And we're going to make a test as quickly as possible. And it's not going to actually be loading on demand at first. I'm just going to kind of clone it a few times. So, I've made my jump here, or ramp, and you're going to have to get it in this hole. And the coin is going to be in the hole like this. Okay, and the challenge, let me hold on, I gotta fix a couple of things here before we go. I'm gonna rename this to ramp and this to block, whatever. So, excuse me. Alright, the ramp needs to be like longer. Just so it meets, you see these, actually, you know what, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. See these boundaries here. I could just add a node. This thing is always temperamental. Okay, now I go whoop, like that. Okay. Then it should be around. Alright, it needs to be a little more. Okay. And I guess I want to do the same to the other one as well. Is that going to work though? No, this one can't be. Back it up. Okay. So, just very quickly, we're going to try to test this out. So what we want to do now is, for now, just dupe this whole thing, which is exactly what it would do anyway if I was loading them on demand. So I've already figured out what this needs to be. This needs to be 17 and minus 12.5, but that's not right. So it needs to be a little more. This needs to be like 19. There we go. That's not bad. But I didn't. Okay, so I guess I don't need that. I don't even need that. That boundary there. I don't need that. I'm just going to hide it for now because it actually is. Basically, the challenge is going to be not tipping over and just keeping going. So we've got, let's see, from the first one to the second, we got, it's 21, x plus 21, and y plus y minus 16. So now we just go doop. We'll go doop and we'll go doop. So, okay, this would be, so 21. Okay, 42. Nope. 19, 39, 40. Okay. And don't worry about that. It kind of starts freaking out when you get a lot of these things on the screen. And then minus 16 would be what, 28. Okay. So then I can just do this real quick, if it really bothered. Okay. I'm not sure why that's happened, but hopefully it will fix itself. Alright, we're going to delete these two, actually. So I'm going to go bang, bang. And let's see if that fixes it. No. Alright, well, let's just do this anyway. Pretend everything's okay. So 2161 and 1638, 44. So this is part of what you have to do. You gotta put shit in to try to test it. Duplicate 61, 71, 81, 82, and 54, 60. Alright, so you see minus the pink, which is concerning. That's it. So I'm going to apply, save, hopefully it fixes itself when it gets prefabbed. Oops, sorry, I got this up the whole time. Okay, that's just a little error. I've been lazy about fixing. Okay, it looks fixed, so good. It's doing the flyby. Here we go. Okay. Whoa, that was not good. Okay. First time I did it, no problem. See, what I did was, this game would be ending a lot sooner because he hits that, but I've made this not ground, so it doesn't, it won't end the game if he hits that, so you can kind of use it to bounce yourself off it a little, anyway. This is hard. I don't know if it's good hard, though. Oh, I'm not sure yet. Jesus Christ. Oh, see, that shouldn't. Because I've removed this, so the game doesn't end when he hits this wall every time. I'm not going to end like that either. Whatever, that's not a big deal. This is damn near impossible. Oh, see, it's too bouncy or something. Yeah, he doesn't have any bounce. God, what are you gonna do? The wheels might not be working now. There we go. That's perfect. Oh, Jesus. See if performance is affected at all. Not really. Oh damn, it's running like crazy good. See, I added wheels to fill yesterday because it was better for long, smooth ramps so you wouldn't get caught up on them. But as a result, look at that, none of his colliders are hitting anything because his colliders come off his butt. Watch, I'll show you. See that X over him? Okay, hold on. Alright, there's his, see, raycast. There's his down. There's his left, his right, and his up. What these do are, they're called raycasts. They shoot off in the directions looking for things collided with, and then based on the collider, they do something. And you don't want to make him too far off his body because then it's going to detect a collision when he's not touching the ground, technically or visibly, you know. So I have one for each side so I can know where he's landed and what he's touching on what side, so we can do more complicated things. So let me show you. This is code. I know it's like the first time I've actually looked at code in these videos, which is insane because I'm a programmer. So I made this player controller, and it's basically the base kind of class player controller, and then you see I have like a jump controller, a gas controller, which we don't even I've implemented it and used it, but I haven't put it in any builds that I've actually shown. It's just gas. I mean, you might as well make gas if you're making brake. There's a flip controller, a flap controller, that's the Flappy Bird, brake, and then a blink controller, which I'm not even sure what the hell that is. And then there's a spin controller, which was something I was experimenting with yesterday, which is basically kind of lean backwards, whatever. It didn't really work out. So anyway, in the player controller, I have variables is standing, Boolean variables, which is they're always equal to no or yes. So is he standing? Yes or no. Is he on his head? Yes or no. Is he on his side? Yes or no. And then here's the transforms: the feet, the head, the left side, the right side. And then at the start of this script, when it first starts up, hold on, kind of lost my place here. Oh yeah, okay. So at the start, okay, I assign the player, the body, whatever. That's not what we're talking about really. But where am I? Assign raycasts. Okay. So on every frame, I'm going to update standing, update on side, and update head. So that calls these procedures down here. Whereas the first time this is run, it says if head is null, assign raycasts, which then it goes and grabs these things. And there's a reason why I did it this way rather than just putting them in the start, because the order in which the scripts run in Unity when it first starts up, these things might not necessarily be available if I put it in the start, so it's weird but true. So the first time these procedures run, it checks. If it's null, then it runs this for the first time. So make sure that it loads those raycast transforms into these variables. And then this is the debug draw line. This is why you see those lines there, because I'm drawing them at runtime. But it only comes up on the editor side, not the actual game window. And then is on head, is equal to a line cast, transfer position, head position, and then I do a layer mask with the layer ground. So I only want to check the ground. Is he touching the ground on his head raycast? That's what this says. From his position to the head position. So it draws a line from the center of his body to the top of his head, where that transform is, and says, did I hit anything? Did I intersect any line? In this case, the ground. If I did, then head is yes. If I didn't, head is no. And these other ones work exactly the same way. This one's a little more complicated because I'm checking one side, and if you didn't touch one side, I touch the other side. And I don't differentiate between the left and right side right now. Technically, it's the back and front, and if there's a reason we need to differentiate between those two, then I will break these apart. But I just didn't at the time I did it. And that's it. That's how Phil is detected, the falling. So that's it. Okay, Phil's stuck. So I'm gonna try this a couple more times now. Good. Steady. Steady. Oh. Oh. Well, I think it's got potential. Um, yeah, I think it's the best attempt so far, by far. Um, I think it's pretty good, actually. I'm gonna, oh, look at that. It's hard though, and I don't know what's too hard. I like hard, but there's a fine line between hard and unskillfully luck hard. So if you get good, can you get better? And if you get good, how much better can you get? If you can't get that much better, which was one of the main problems with the original Phil, was you have to launch yourself off the ramp and you have to hit this hole, but the level of difference in um, the delta between doing it right and doing it wrong was unclear. You you wouldn't be able to know when to do it to be able to do it right. Um, Whether that was a case of being too hard or just a muddled game mechanic, it doesn't really matter. In the end, it's the same. Um, Now, this I'm not really getting the same vein from this because I'm still not really understanding what I have to do to get him to remain standing. Um, but I'm also pretty new still, and it's supposed to be hard. I wanted this game to be hard. Um, that's that's our hook. Every game coming out these days is just easy. It's just too easy, and it's boring to me. And after seeing the success of a Flappy Bird, you gotta wonder. You gotta think people are starting to want something different. And why is one of these raycasts gone now? Let's check it out. See, this is a clone. That's the runtime one. That's the one that's created at runtime. Okay, left, right. It's weird that it's not showing. Anyway, but and I mean, there's some of that in Flappy Bird. You sometimes it does not seem like you're hitting it, and you do. It's just I think I need to make Phil a little more stable. He's kind of just all over the place. I don't like when he land him and then he does that. That's what I don't like. You land him, he should land, and then but the thing is, he's like a AV cart right now. if you see, he's got two wheels. So when he lands, boom, he just flips. Because these things, those two colliders, which is the back wheel and the front wheel, they have the original fill material, which I'll show you, has zero friction and zero bounciness. So when it hits the ground, there's no friction. So if there's any sort of force, if the force isn't perfect, if it's weighted to going forward or backwards, he's going to flip right over. Now the problem is that I need no force. I need no friction because that's what keeps him going so smoothly down there, and that's what makes the whole mechanic work. So, what I can do is, not sure, honestly. Let's come over here. I've already spread the wheels out more in hopes that he would become more. Let's just do it more and see what happens. So that was 0.3 now, so I'm going to make it 0.4. So that's kind of getting way out there. Now, mind you, this is not colliding with anything but the ground. So, actually, no, I'm sorry, it is colliding. So there will become a point where it just seems weird and unrealistic. So, not that this is in the vein of realism, but you know what I mean. I have to actually land him on his feet to see if it made a difference. Oh boy. So this is hard. It seems to have affected his falling. He kind of, I don't know if he's bouncing off the walls. Yeah, he is. The wheel, he comes, if I hit him here, then he comes back, that wheel hits. And for whatever reason, it kind of sends him back the other direction. Um, So, let me make sure this block doesn't. Block is the ground, so. Friction on the ground is 1? Huh. Is that all the ground? That's all the grounds, huh? Interesting. So, if the friction on the ground is 1, I had no idea. I kind of just forgot about that, I guess. I don't even remember setting it. It was a while ago now. I don't know why I did that. Maybe it's too slippery? Maybe it makes no difference at all. It doesn't appear to make any difference at all. So, fill body is 0.4. So, okay. So, if the ground is none now, then I can make fill, say 0.5, and then if he lands, stick it. Maybe it'll make a difference. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it'll be the same. I don't like how it's like that now, though. Yeah, that's not going to make a shit of a difference. What has to happen is, say 2, 1, and then the ground still needs some friction. So I'm going to say 4. So now we're getting into territory of actually changing the way he rolls, if he rolls at all. See, he's not even rolling anymore. Let's mess with this in real time. And then we'll go back and change anything we decide on. So what does this need to be? All right, fill is not. Let's see. What about 3? No. Jeez. 2. Okay. 1. Why is he not moving? Maybe this might not update. This doesn't update real time. At least I don't think it does. There's no way he shouldn't be rolling right now, though, that's for sure. Alright, so let's put this back in the ground. Okay. I'm going to end this. I'm going to say 2.5. Let's see what that does. It's weird, man. I'm really getting that. I'm going to pause this for a minute. Alright, I'm back. So he's still not moving. Like, what the heck? Let's go down to 1? I mean, there's not much else I can do here. Alright, he's moving a tiny bit. Like, good lord. This is at the ground, 0.1 friction, and fill 0.1. So, I mean, zeesh. What are you going to do? Try changing them both to 0.5. 0.05. If this doesn't do anything, I don't know. Alright, he's moving. Okay. Alright. So it's about the same now. It's actually worse. It's almost too much, but it might be okay. He's got some speed. So let's see if now the whole point of this was to make a difference when he lands on his feet, to actually stick a little. So let's see if it actually accomplished that. Once I can land him on his feet. I still have the wheels further out though, so it might be hard to do that. This is part of testing, and she's just kind of, you gotta sit here and play. Alright, I'm moving the wheels back because now I can't even land him, which is not good. So what was this? 0.3, I think. And this one was 0.25 or 2. Yeah, that looks right. The back one might be a little too far, but we'll leave it. So apply that. Okay, here we go. Oh boy, I'm terrible. It doesn't seem. I feel like he doesn't have the same amount of momentum. But it's just because I'm kind of braking the same way I used to. And why is he sliding so smoothly on that with fill body? I'm gonna go fill body 1 now to make up for the amount I brought down the ground, because I don't like him sliding like that. See, at least he just stops now when he lands. Oh, come on! Did that coin really throw him off? Coin shouldn't actually have a body, but I think it does right now. Let's fix that. It never really mattered. Coin is actually taking from some other project, I don't even know. Alright, so props. The problem is now I have coins on every chunk of this level, so I have to remove it 5 times, but I'm just going to remove the first one. There we go. It no longer has a body, but it still has all this other good stuff. Collision destroy, collision sound. These are all scripts that I made. Kind of handle certain aspects of what happens when you collide. So this one, collision destroy 2D. Okay, collider tag player. So that's the tag he's going to respond to. Number of hits required, just one. Play a particle effect, bonus blow up. That's old, and we're not going to have that. Either we're going to have something more pixelated or nothing. And then, do you change state when that happens? Nope. Do I award points? Yes, 5. I'm actually going to change that to 1 because it's the whole point in this game. Destroy colliding with. No. Self-destruct in. No. We're good there. You know, just stuff like that. That's what Unity allows you to do. Kind of compartmentalize aspects. It's really neat. Then I have collision sound, you know. Sound exit names, sound enter names, velocity multiplier, adjust pitch, and then the fire sound out tag. So, but this actually isn't even set up because I don't have any sounds in there right now. All right. Anyway, sidetrack.